All right, guys. I'm here trying to show you some trading with Ichimoku as far as scalping the market, pretty much day trading. Right now, I never really sit and record all my trades, but I'm just recording right now because I wanted to show you guys how you can use Ichimoku to day trade or to scalp the markets. And I wanted to show you and tell you how I feel about it. But also, what I'm going to do is show this video here, and then I think I'm going to do another video where I'm going to change my settings. So I'm going to have the settings different as far as I'm going to try to use the settings that some of the other traders use as far as when they're scalping a market with let's say cryptos. Okay, so we'll see what those settings, we'll go with those settings and see how those are. But right now I'm just using the default settings. You could see pretty much we're kind of flat here. And Ichimoku tells me that. So we'll see if we get a trade today. It's already 2:25. I've been trading the markets without Ichimoku, but I've been wanting to do a video with Ichimoku. And right now we're being moved by the FOMC meeting minutes. That's what's moving us a little bit here. Had these meetings at 2 o'clock today, and I think it's still an after effect of whatever's going on, what's being said, affecting the market right now. So let's see what we get. I'll probably have to edit this video, cut parts out, because who knows if we're going to get a trade here. Now, normally I could take a trade here. This is a flat market, you could tell here, but one thing is you got your crossover here. So Tengen-sen is above Kijun-sen, and we're kind of rejecting that Kijun-sen level. Okay, so we could look for a trade here. I'm trading my Apex account, not the funded account. I'm trading an account that's already passed. I passed the account in 2 days, but I'm going to keep trading it and just show you guys what I get here. So what I'm looking for really now, we're inside this TK zone, getting a little bit below it. I could see the range levels here. So we have these developed range levels this high, coming off of this high. What I like to trade when I'm making a trade, so I may be taking a trade here. Look at the volume here. If this volume can get us above Kijun-sen, Tengen-sen, we're going to take a trade here. We're going to put our stop loss here. We're going to trade 5 standard lots. 5 contracts, sorry. We'll see where we are though. Let's just wait. Pretty much the market's ranging. It's really not a good trade setup right here. So I'm not gonna be getting into this trade. What I would trade, really looking at this, we're gonna want to see, you got a rejection here coming off of this level here, staying above Kijun-sen. If this candle closed higher than this level here with good volume, bullish volume, I would take a trade. Now coming to the downside, we're approaching this level here, also this Kijun-sen level. And the thing about it is we're decreasing in bullish bearish volume. So that lets me know there's a possibility of seeing a move off of this level to the upside. In order to move lower, we need to see more bearish volume. In order to move higher, we need to see more bullish volume. So when these candles start getting smaller, even though they are bullish or bearish candles, that's showing that the move to the downside is getting weaker. So if I was trading right now, Ichimoku is bullish, the market is flat. We're just not going to take a trade here. We may have to wait it out. But in the process, I did take some trades yesterday, and I'm going to try to show those to you. So we're not getting anything there. You could see what's happening. And I don't think we're going to get anything soon, all right, because we're pretty flat. Let me talk about some trades I took the other day. Trading with Ichimoku. Let me see if this was the account here. Let's go to settings. Since we're not going to get any trades at this moment, we could talk about some other trades. So here we are. Took some trades yesterday. This is how this thing got. I was already pretty much qualified here. So we trading with Ichimoku on this chart here. I'm going to talk about these trades, but there was a trade here. There was a trade here, and then there was a trade here. And I can talk about those trades really quickly, and then we'll go back to the chart that we were looking at to see if we're going to get anything. So Ichimoku, I took a long trade. I'm actually right here. So let me move. Let me turn this off, but I just want you to see where the trades were. So let's try to get it close. So I took a trade at this candle here. I'm going to turn it off for now. And I lost that. As soon as that candle went to the downside, I got out of the trade. So I took a trade. It was this candle here. So we wanted to go long here. We were above Tenkan and Kijun, basically looking at that as support. We had our crossover, which was bullish. Our cloud was bullish. Everything was bullish. My issue here was this level here. We didn't get through that level. So the market pulled back, but then we rejected right here. This is the candle I got in the trade on. And I took a long trade at this point, and I was looking to take profit right here. Actually, no, it wasn't there. At that point, it would have been, my profit was going to be right there. All right, because I took the trade here. But when this candle closed, and then the market stopped me out when it came back below this candle here. If I'm taking a trade in the direction of the trend and I get in on momentum, I don't want that next candle to stop to go below my low of the candle that I enter on if I enter at the right area, at the right spot. And the right spot would be a support and resistance level, which would be this Tenkan Kijun level. So this TK zone, I call this zone between the green line and the blue line, which is your Tenkan and Kijun. That's my TK zone. I took a trade right outside the zone. This would have been a good trade too. But I took the trade outside the zone, got stopped out, and then I do believe I came right back for this. So I took the trade based off of a few things. You could see that we were holding this TK zone. All right. And then also I had volume coming in. So you could see I had good volume come in here. 4,000. And then I took my trade here, and then I got stopped out. So then the market came right back, gave me another opportunity. I lost $625 on this trade. So let's look at where we got back into the trade and talk about that. So we got back into the trade right here again. You can see where we got in, and this is where we got out. So we'll talk about that entry and that target. Let's go back to the settings. Go back to the visual trading, and then trades. We'll turn that off for now. And so then we got into this trade. So when I did get into this trade, my target was at that point now was going to be right there. All right. So I have a line there pretty much. This was my target right. Whoops. That was my target right there. So I got into that trade, and pretty much when I got out because the market hit by my 1-to-1 measured move right on the nose. Okay. So when you look at getting into your trade, you're looking at 1, 2, 3, and shooting for 4. So this is also part of Ichimoku price observation theory. So looking for that N wave target, that value. So this took me from 1, 2, 3. This is where I got into the trade at 3, and then my profit target was at 4. That's where I got out of the trade. I tried to see if it was going to run. It did go a little bit higher, but then eventually pulled back here on me. All right, so then I got into another trade. Let's look at this thing. This was the last trade of the day. Go to settings and trades. And then you could see, so that was the trade I got out at the 100% mark, which was my price observation theory level. And then I got into my last trade right here. So I entered the market here. let's talk about why I entered this trade. So again, we got all bullish signs. TK crossovers bullish. We pulled back into the TK zone right here, and then we crossed above Tinkinson. That's where I got into the trade, and I basically had my stop loss below this low right here. So I got into the trade here, and why did I get out right here? Well, I got out right here because really it was getting late for me trading, and then I was worried about getting through this level the way the market was reacting here. And it just wasn't giving me much. So I just took the small profit here and got out of the trade. But as you could see, this market moved much farther. Gave me a trade opportunity here, and then a real good trade opportunity right here, because you bounced on Kijinsen, and then your TK crossover stayed bullish. And I wasn't looking at this time, but this would have been a great trade for me here. Would have taken this trade right here. I try to take my trades if I'm using not just Ichimoku, but anything where I'm looking at my zone. If price pulls into my trade zone, which is my support and resistance level, because now you could see where we broke this high, and then we came right back to that high. This would have been a perfect trade area. And then you see the bullish volume come in right here. Started to come in. So you started to get bullish volume in, had about 26.14. Then it looked like it was dropping off, but then we started to pick up. But this would have been the exact entry where I get into. The worst trade I would have taken would have been right here, but I would have taken this trade here based off of the support of this fractal. So you had a bounce off of this fractal level. Market comes back, bounce on that level. This is where I would have gotten to the trade with a stop loss slightly lower. And we're talking about could have, should have, would have at this point. And sorry about that, but I did show you the previous trades that I did take. At this point, I didn't make any trades after this. After this trade, I was pretty much done. My account is already qualified, and I didn't need to make any more money. And I don't even need to make any more today, but I wanted to show you guys some trade opportunities if they develop. And so this would have been the best trade here. So it would have been taking this trade based off of the volume coming in at the support level. And then the worst entry would have been breaking the Tinkinson. You take your entry at that point, you put your stop loss down here. And then you could see the market came back, give you another opportunity as it comes into the TK zone, closes back out with volume. That's where you take your trade again, pulls back into the TK zone, and then goes out, closes with volume. Now I take this trade right here because inside my zone, I got increased volume. As you could see, that candle volume was more than the two bearish candles that dropped. So I would take this trade long and then try to get above this level or get to this level. And you can see you always got to worry about to your left getting above that fractal level. That's what we look at every trade, get into the trade here, need to get through this level. We barely got through it. Then it took a while to get through there. That's why I took my profit. My account was already qualified. Then the market pulls up and then pulls right back to that level. Now when you get into the trades, the best spot would be right here. But if you get in up here, then you're worried about this level again. So you're worried about getting through this level. All right, you can mark it as a zone, but this would be the area that you're worried about getting through. If you take the trade here, it's like you do hit right here, and then it drops on you. So the best spot would be to get into as close away from that 2 level as you can. I like to get in on the 3 level trade, and that's where we are right here. Because now if I get this and then it pulls back on me, I still have my profit. But if I get in here, I'm in a drawdown at that point. And then it does break through. And then again, you could see the same thing. So here's this fractal high. If you get in here, this would be your area to get in. Now, again, you want to see the market get through there, and it looks like it's not going to, but then it eventually does. So you want to get through that level, and you do. At this point, the market made a double top. All right, equal highs right here. Then we kind of would know that the market was probably going to drop if we broke this low here. So you broke structure here. And once you broke that structure, you can see the market move to the downside. And that's that. All right, so this was 4 o'clock. That's the end of the day trading here. So I wouldn't have been trading anything else for sure after that. But that's what it looks like. And let's look at and see what we got going on in the market right now to see if I could give you any trade. All right, so we do got a crossover here. Got our crossover here with our Tinkinson aiming to the downside. Now, span Our span A is aiming to the downside. Span B kind of flat, but span A is aiming to the downside. So now we're going to look to see a possibility of a trade here. So I don't want to take the trade at this level. I want to take the trade up here. I want the market to come back up into this zone here and then go back to the downside. But let's see what we get. It's now like 10 to 3. All right, so the market pushing back up into that zone. We're continually making lower highs, lower bull fractals, boom, boom, boom. So we definitely don't want to see the market come up. We don't want it to really come above this level. And if it does, I'm not even going to look at trading. Unless it's just a quick liquidity grab and then pulls back to the downside. Let's see what's going to happen here. This is a good possible opportunity to short this market. But really, we're still kind of ranging. We're trying to break out of this level. We slightly did, but we're still between this point here. We haven't really done much. So let's see what we get here. Okay, so we're in our zone. We got like 23 seconds to close. We're in a good zone here. And we're going to short this on the next candle. Well, can't say that. We're going to short this if we get bearish volume coming into the market at this level. This is our resistance point. So we want to see what the next candle is going to do. Now this candle's trying to reject there real quick. This is the main candle here. All right, so the bearish volume coming in. And since this cloud is flat, this span B is really flat. We're kind of flat. Market's really not trending, but it's starting to try to make a move. Span A is aiming to the downside. We need to see a span B roll over. Now this is what we're looking for here. Let's see. 4 seconds to go. We're going to short this right here. Let's see. Indecision candle. We want to be outside of this level, but we're going to short this right here. Sell the market right there. All right. So you could see basically came in there with 5 contracts. And we're just scalping here. Now we want to see this move. If this continues and we could break again, now we want to break this low in order to continue lower. So if we pull down to this level and we can't get through there, then we know what's happening. The market's still kind of flat though, because look at the clouds now. So this span A stopped aiming to the downside. It's flattening out. So we may not even get through this level. So let's see what we got. 125. 250. 375. I took the trade. I took the profit right there. Now this probably are going to be give this a chance to really run. Let's see what it does right here. I took my profit at 375. And the reason I took my profit, guys, is because basically I'm already qualified on this account, so I really don't need to risk it and see it go back on me. And getting through this level is what I've been talking about. We need to get through that level now. And you can see we're rejecting off of that level. So I got the best level I could get to get out of the trade. If I'm going to take my profit, that would be your first target. Now your overall target, let's see if we get there. We would shoot for this level down here, somewhere in this zone, right? But let me show you also. Let's remove some things here so we could see where we are. So we didn't break that high, which is good. We need to break this low to show that we're continuing to the downside. Again, we're still rejecting that level. But I think your one-to-one target would be quite possibly here, there, and there. So 1-to-1 is right here. So that means that we would take our profit right here. This would be our profit level right there. Now this market's pushing through there. And this is where we would shoot for. This would be your target, your first target. And then this would be your second target. Still failing to close below that level, but it looks strong to go to the downside still based off of some things that I'm looking at here. But again, need to get through that level. We could bounce here, correct a little bit, and then go through this level. But again, we're shooting for the 1-to-1. That's what I usually shoot for as my target. Now you can see how much we're rejecting back up to that level. So getting that 375 was okay for me right now. And I really just wanted to be able to show you guys how you can trade with Ichimoku, scalping the market and day trading with the market. I also want to try to change the settings to see how that works. Because I need a faster... I really don't need a faster Ichimoku because my Tenkan-sen and Kijun-sen are really... They move nice and move quick as they can, really. The cloud is what really is the thing to me. But the cloud is more so support and resistance levels for me. It does show my bias, and this was basically showing it was flat bullish, but we already had this crossover. This was a weak crossover because it happened above the cloud, and it was a weak bearish crossover. But we still were able to get a trade because we're looking at... Let me confirm to you guys what I'm looking at in this trade. And yes, it's a small trade here, but it's the profit that I made based off of how many contracts. Now, if we get into a trade where we're able to run a little bit, something like this, bouncing off of this level, and we could see it run, or getting in here and getting some kinds of runs. But at this point, we kind of were thinking we have to get through this low. And the market at this point failed to get through that low. I'm not willing to take that 375 profit turn into nothing and quite possibly a loser. So I take that profit, then there's going to be an opportunities to get back into the market. It looks really flat now because this level is flat now. So we're not able to get through here right now. And everything's flattening out. Now we may be crossing over. We may be getting a twist right here. But it's very weak. Shows me that the market's very flat. No directional bias right here. So just taking that trade, just knowing we did have some bearish bias with the crossover here, but the issue is the clouds are flat. Kijinsen's still flat, not aiming to the downside. Tenkan-sen is not flat, it's aiming to the downside, but you were not able to get through this level. So now I'd be hoping that I can get back that 375 if I was still in the trade, right? And I think we may see it break through there, but the way the market's moving right now, and it's 3 o'clock now, it's just really not doing much. I think you should see that big volume coming in soon between 3:30, end of the day volume. See, this is where we are. We'd be pissed off because we're now in a losing trade. All right, and I'm not willing to trade it again right now. It's too rangy for me. It's not a defined trend that we want to see. Even like this, that's a nice trend. This is a good trend. We're not really getting through this level. We're not doing anything here. All right. So therefore, we want to just leave it alone now. So hopefully this helped you a little bit. I'm going to do more videos using Ichimoku trading for using on the futures market and scalping and day trading the market. But until then, guys, hope this stuff right here helped you out. Yeah, this looks like we could be getting that near the end of the day volume coming in here. Not quite, but because it's only 3 o'clock. Usually we see that at about 3:30, around that area. So I'll be looking, but for now, that's what I got. So guys, hope this video helped you out. Until next time, have a great one. God bless. So long.